Yeah.
For you to drink?
With bread.
The bread.
3 pieces of fruit bread.
With egg inside?
With egg inside, maide, butter. So, when I carry it to the men, say, carry it to the men. When you give it to the men, then you must come back to the car.
So the food make you now, you carry it so you can go convince your friend.
Yeah. When I give it to the men, the men say, thank you. I say, okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now?
Yeah, the same man.
And the man tell you say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say, clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In a Jeep?
In a Jeep. Then they are 2.
A big Jeep?
Yeah.
That one?
Black BG. 4 doji.
4 doji.
Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all inside.
No, Papi, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the whole town now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people that can come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you double in the question, you say when I move from here, I'll free. You say when I move from here, I'll free. If you say one talk again, I wanted to make a whole talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, I'm looking, hi, you looking, hi, looking. Then you want force another more word there again. Why not be looking to the top? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office. I go explain.
I think you explain to me that you come to get you say you carry the tea to the man. After you carry the tea to the man, you come now. So what next now?
For me, I will not ver.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, just explain things. Say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. That's why I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
okay, I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then do.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. That's why I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
I said I can take time to
explain.
180,000 in tax money from the Liberian government, for which he was dragged to court 2010. 2012, he was announced convicted. This is the man also condemned by FIFA as a fraudster. This is the man who is in the midst of the CPP, and the CPP is now throwing what I call a cordon sanitaire around him. Now, if you have a guy who is a potential contaminant, and you have him in your midst, what do you think will happen? He will contaminate everybody. You know, this man is a walking corruption virus. Anything he comes in contact with, anything he touches, he contaminates. The CPP will be contaminated very soon because my own Liberty Party is now contaminated. People in the Liberty Party who took Peacock responsibility today, they are defending him up and down the country. They are defending, even though they know Mr. Ability was condemned by FIFA for 10 years as a fraudster. Even though they know Mr. Ability was convicted of tax evasion, fraud.
Somebody telling me that Gifty was making love to Peters in the car. Only Jesus can tell me that I will accept. Only Jesus. No CID, NSA, FBI report will make me to accept it. You know, no kind of a report will make me to agree that Gifty Lama was in the car on Broad Street having sex. Whereas when we went there, I was there when police opened that vehicle.
Okay.
We noticed that there was sand in her shoes and on her feet.
Okay.
So the Broad Street place got sand now. Broad Street got sand. Where part of Broad Street is sand coming from? I refuse to accept that. Anybody wants to get angry with me, let them get angry with me. I refuse it any day, anytime.
Okay.
Gifty Lama never died on Broad Street. She died somewhere else. They were brought on Broad Street. I say so. I, Solomon Claudius George.
There was report that Peters and Lama died from carbon monoxide. No, George, this autopsy report. Where do you also stand on that report?
I just told you.
Yes.
Only Jesus Christ will say that to me and I accept. Don't keep opening old wounds. I am very hurt because of that report. That report is very incorrect.
Boom. And everywhere you go, this is ABC Radio 105.1 FM.
I like it. I like it.
trendybeats.com.
Good morning. Another bright and early morning in Liberia. I'd like to say good morning to you and welcome to the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. And today is Wednesday, the 19th day of April 2023. What a pleasant way. I'd like to welcome you to the program this morning. Oh yes, great morning. It looks sunny out there, even though the day started a bit more cloudy. But welcome to the program this morning. My name is Fidel Sadie, and shortly I'll be joined by my partner Denise Nipsey to ride you through on the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. And so wherever you are, welcome. Invite a friend to listen along with you, and let's have a great time together discussing everything Mama Liberia. And as always, regardless of how critical we are, our intent is to make sure Liberia is a better country. And so welcome to the program. Our motivational quote this morning says, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." And that's Nelson Mandela. He says, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but rising every time we fall." And our African proverb says, "No matter how long the night, the day is sure to come." No matter how long the night, the day is sure to come. So welcome to the program this morning. If you are listening to us via 105.1, welcome to the program. In case you are watching us via our live Facebook feed, we also like to say welcome if you're watching us via YouTube on ABC Radio 105.1 official. Welcome to the program as well. And if you're listening to us via Radio King, the app is Radio King on your Google Play Store or Apple Store. Download Radio King. That's RADROKING. Download that app and search for ABC Radio 105.1 official and listen to us loud and clear via the internet. And so welcome to the program this morning. Lots of things to talk about. Lots of things to talk about. Liberia is never short of news. And so we've heard that the armed forces of Liberia is preparing for deployment. Of course, they are going out there. We have we will provide a bit of a critical analysis on the deployment of the armed forces of Liberia in another country while we are at the verge of going to elections. We have a bit of reservation about that, which we will talk about this morning on the program. And also we will look at we'll talk about the press conference of the chairman of the Council of Patriots, Henry Costa. He did a press conference on yesterday. He made lots of points which we will also look at this morning on the program to weigh in on some of the things he said and what our thoughts are about what he said and how we can together reconcile on those issues raised by Henry Costa in his press statement on yesterday. And we always like to keep the conversation going as always regarding the governance of our country. It's something we're very committed to, and we are committed to upholding as well. And as we discuss those issues that matter to the growth and development of our country. And of course, one of the points you made yesterday was that the biometric exercise, the quote-unquote biometric voter registration exercise is not actually a biometric exercise. And we'll be having our say on the issue on this morning as well. And so lots of things to talk about. The report from the angle of three institutions regarding abortion in our country. We will look at that as well on the program. All right. Then at 9 o'clock, we play host to the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment, Robert Sami. He be our guest on the 9 o'clock segment of the show. And so that's how we roll you on through this morning on the program. So don't go away, stay tuned. Let's now give you our traffic alerts. Of course, our traffic alerts are intended to give you an idea of what to expect as you make your way from work or to work or to your business center this morning, but as you use major routes across Monrovia. And so we thought to give you an idea. So if you're coming from Painesville, like Denise said on yesterday, the traffic has been rerouted to the SKD. That's the the SD SD Turbo Road. Is that how it's called? Yeah, SD Turbo Road. AB Turbo Road, that is. Yeah. Then they got SD Copper Junction. Okay, my man, I don't know the place. You two, you want blind leading blind. All right. So the traffic has been rerouted, and so you have to be aware of that. The road to the ELWAN has been closed. All right, so you need to be aware of that, which means there will be traffic congestion because the alternative route has been closed. All right, so as you approach our central town as well, around the Vamoma area, you also have to be aware of the traffic around 540, the SKD Boulevard as well. Also expect traffic to be there, and as you approach the Oro Junction just before the Invisible Sports Park, you should also expect traffic there as well. And as you move towards town 20th Street, a bit of traffic is always there in the morning hours, and pushing straight forward to the Capitol Hill, all right, Capitol Bypass, that is, you should also expect traffic around that end and as well. And if you're coming from the Japanese Freeway in, be aware of traffic at that's New Georgia Junction, and there's Battersville Junction. Be aware of traffic in those areas. You should brace yourself because there's a bit of traffic because of vehicles going in, coming out, and those using the main routes. And if you're coming from Bourgeois Island, you're coming from the Broadville Inn, Lower Virginia Inn, you also have to be aware of the traffic along the Douala Inn, specifically before you take the left turn towards the beer factory Inn. You should be aware of traffic. And if you want to use the straight route through Douala, you also have to be aware of traffic in that area as well. Yep. And if you are coming from Carwell, the New Georgia Inn, there is always traffic there. And as you approach the Carwell Bridge as well, there's traffic there. If you are able to survive that traffic, you should also be aware of traffic at Freeport. The Freeport of Monrovia, there's road construction ongoing there, and so there's normally traffic jam over there. So the best to do if you are coming to town is to come straight. Those who are going towards the Douala Inn should use the Jamaica Road in just by the Japanese Freeway. Use that in and pass through Logan Town, make your way through Carwell Bridge, and then you can hit the Carwell Junction in, or use the route towards the Momo Town in, and you can experience a free flow of traffic. So that's it there this morning. And if you come into town, of course, the Vartown area, there's always a bit of traffic. The Claratown, Vartown, there's always a bit of traffic there. You should also be aware of that, all right, as you make your way to town this morning. Okay, so those are our traffic alerts this morning. Let's now find our way to our correspondents across the country and speak with them. If you are viewing us this morning, let me see. Let me recognize some of those who are viewing this morning. Napoleon Fire is watching from Logan Town. For some reason, Smith, I don't get to see those who are viewing and watching the video, and so you can just give me your phone. Let me load through right now this morning. And today is the birthday of one of our partners. Today is the birthday of Elton John, the Chief Executive Officer of Bokongide Group of Companies. If you work at the National Legislature and other agencies of government, you will know who Elton John is. The Bokongide Group of Companies has been involved into giving out loans to those who work with public institutions, all right, and they are a partner here with us on the program. And so we'd like to recognize you, Elton John, as you celebrate your birthday on today. We wish you all of the best, and we hope this partnership that you have with ABC Radio will continue in the long run, and we wish you all of the best in your life endeavors. Today is also the birthday of Dominic. Yes, Dominic Nimlin. He's the chairman of the Patriotic Entrepreneurs of Liberia and the chairman of the Used Car Dealers Association of Liberia as well. I'm wishing you a happy birthday to you, my brother Dominic Nimlin, and hope you enjoy your birthday in Grand Star. He's not in Liberia, he's out of Liberia, but I'm wishing you the best in your new age. Now let's go across the country and speak with our correspondents right now. Let's run to Grand Crew County where our man Frederick Kuhlman is, and speak with Frederick Kuhlman and find out what's the trending issue now in Grand Crew County. As you may be aware, the vice president just passed through Grand Crew County on her way to Maryland and Sino. And so let's go to our man Frederick. Frederick Kuhlman is in Barkleyville City right now. Frederick is on the line. Let's get him. Good morning, Frederick. Welcome to the program this morning.
Let me say good morning to the people of Liberia.
Now tell us, how is Barkleyville City this morning?
Yeah, Barkleyville is good. Barkleyville City is good this morning. The weather condition here is welcoming, and all of the students are making their way to school this morning.
Okay, that's good. Perfect weather. Children making their way to school, and the weather is very friendly indeed. But give us the trending issue in the Barkleyville, my brother.
Well, in Barkleyville, the First Time Voters Association of Grand Crew says all is now set for them to pledge support to the Mountain Coalition for Democratic Change ahead of the presidential and legislative elections in Liberia. They make the statement after they have appeared on Athena Radio to point out their next plan of action, since indeed the election is already in the corner, seeking those potential lawmakers, those potential leaders that they think can be elected and move the country forward in terms of development. They came up with the Mountain Coalition for Democratic Change as the government that can move Liberia forward, outlining some major government projects like the Double Chip Seal Quota project in Grand Crew County, the lightening of various counties like of Grand Crew, Maryland, among other counties. So now the First Time Voter Association of Grand Crew County is trying to support the Mountain Coalition for Democratic Change due to their level of developments in the country and the country at large. Saying all of the other political parties in Grand Crew have not done anything for the people, and of course they are the future leaders that should be making decisions in the interest of their people, and a decision that will positively affect the young generation, not a decision that will be able to turn down the developmental movement of Grand Crew County. With this, they have pledged their support to the Mountain Coalition for Democratic Change.
Okay. Now, are there any other trending issues in the county?
Yeah, so for the level of the training issues, the Deputy Speaker and Grand Crew County District Number 1 Representative, Councillor Fanatic Kofa, itinerary has been released that is expected to be in Grand Crew County earlier this April 2023, and he will be touring some of the communities in Grand Crew, especially for District Number 1. We are in the yellow political struggle now, and all of our lawmakers are coming home to see and speak to their peoples about their next plan of action.
Okay. Thank you so much, Frederick. It was nice having you on the program this morning.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure.
Okay, let's run to Sino County quickly where our man Elijah Grendel is. Let's run to Sino County and find out what's going on in Sino County from our man Elijah Grendel right here this morning on the program. This is the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. with me, Fidel Sadie and Denise Nipson this morning. Let's get to our man Elijah Grendel and find out what's going on in Sino County this morning on the program. All right. So at 9 o'clock, like I said, we play host to the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment, Robert Samuel. But let's join our man Elijah Grendel now on the line. Good morning, Elijah.
Good morning. Yeah, and let me say good morning to everyone, one of my boys in Marshall.
Okay, how is Sino County? How is Greenville? How is the weather like?
Well, the weather is quite friendly this morning. And like I always inform the people, the Sino people are on that normal activity.
Okay, so all is going well right now as as the day has broken in Sino County. Okay, now tell us the trending issue in that part of the country.
All right. So the first and foremost most important event that is currently ongoing in China is what is being termed as the Sapo Apolabo dialogue. See there, in China we have 3 ethnic groups to name the Kru, the Sapo, and that of the Grebo. And normally, in a kind of critical time, these various tribes, they call their children, their sons, their daughters together to preach peace, reconciliation, and harmony. And the most important part of it is that at this point, it is when they decide as to whether they're going to elect you as a representative or not. So as we speak, they are currently on a dialogue in a part of China called Juason, Bilogo Creek to be precise. And the chief launcher of the program is the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam George House Taylor. And today, she's going to be launching the program along with, we have been told, Liberia wrote a history book on Liberia. She also going to be launching that particular book in July.
No, but how I mean the launch of by the vice president, isn't it anyway a means of influencing the decision of the delegates at the dialogue?
Well,
is it normal for public officials to attend such a dialogue?
I don't want to talk for them, but as to what is going to influence that decision is something that we do not know, because we ourselves, we do not know that decision as to who they're going to be bringing out in the senatorial race, who they're going to be bringing out in the representative race in the 3 electoral districts. We are yet to know.
So Elijah, you've covered the dialogue for a while now. Is it a normal practice for public officials to attend? I thought it would have been only citizens debating on who to support.
Yeah, so myself, it came as a surprise when the communication person informed us that the vice president would be the chief launcher, because normally when the Sapo people are having a kind of program, they use their Sapo sons or daughters to serve as chief launcher. When the Kru people are having a Kru for the session dialogue as well, they use a Kru son or Kru daughter. But it came as a surprise to hear that the vice president is going to be the chief launcher. But we are following it closely and we'll continue to report to the ABC Radio.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. He's Elijah Grendel there in Sino County, live on the line. Let's gonna join our man Prince Womplu in Grand Bassa County and find out what's going there in Grand Bassa. This is very important going across the country. In fact, this is how we get to report some of those stories we report on our news regarding the murder, the alleged murdering of people that you hear, because we are updated with information from other parts of the country. Let's join our man Prince Womplu in Grand Bassa County and find out what's going on in Grand Bassa. Prince Womplu is on the line. Good morning, Prince. Good morning, Prince.
Good morning, Fidel, and good morning to Dennis and our many listeners.
Now, tell us, how is Grand Bassa County this morning?
Well, this morning we have a beginning of the sunshine, and the students are actually making use of the weather condition, whereas the motorcyclists will have a better weather this morning in Buchanan City.
That's good. Now, what's the trending issue in Buchanan now?
Okay, Fidel, the former representative of Electoral District number 4, Honorable Jared Baron Brown, is calling on the Liberian legislature, calling on the people of Liberia, the government of Liberia, to recognize the Fulani as the Fula community or the Fulani as a part of Liberia. Fulani to be a tribe in Liberia. Representative Jeff Barber was speaking over the weekend. He spoke over the weekend at the presentation of several items to the Muslim community began as part of the Ramadan exercise. But he was a person of attention during the presentation session when he spoke about the Fulani community being part of Liberia, Fulani tribe should be part of Liberia. Several people who attended the program, saw his statement as a different statement because it's a political season. He wanted attention for the Fulani community, so therefore he called it for their recognition. And this, according to them, the citizens, they are saying that they should pass through the proper channel. This is not a discussion or just a lawmaker starting it, but it needs government attention. They need to look at it from all sides. Where is Liberia heading? And based upon that, then the Fula community can be recognized if that would be the case. But for now, some supporters of opposition in District Number 5, Electoral 4 rather, is saying that Representative Barber was in the legislature before, and then he did not push that. Why is it now that he's calling for the Fulani community to be part of the tribes of Liberia?
Okay, now, but has he given any reason behind his decision to have proffered this idea?
Sure, yes. He was talking about the issue of the Fulani community. The Fula community carry on a lot of development in the form views of most of the cities in Liberia, and he was specific about electoral district number 4 and that electoral district number 4 and that of Buchanan City. He said, look along the major streets in Buchanan is the Fula communities, Fulani that are having most of the shops, stores there and the businesses, and they are going far into the district. It means that they are seeing Liberia as part of as their home, their home. So therefore, there's a need that they be part of Liberia tribes. Much that the Mandingos came into the process. So there's a need for recognition for the Fula community. But this news, as I said, is being greeted differently by residents of Grand Bassa County, many of which are now saying that it's belated and he's not passing to the proper channel. He had a gavel in his hand and he could not make use of that authority.
Okay, so is a former Representative Byron Brown contesting in the 2023 elections?
That's correct. He's contesting electoral district number 4 against the Cuban there, Representative Vincent S.T. Willie.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prince. It was nice having you on the program this morning.
Always a pleasure, Fidel and Dennis as well.
Okay. Thank you. He's our man, Prince Wamplo there from Grand Bassa County. Former Representative Byron Brown is proposing that the Fulanese be granted status as one of the official tribes of Liberia. Let's go to our man Walcott Kerry in Margibi County, and Walcott Kerry is in Margibi. Let's find out what's going on in Margibi this morning on the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1 on the Morning Breeze this morning. Our man Walcott Kerry, trying to get him through. But folks, at 9 o'clock we play host to Robert Saming, the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment. Our man Walcott Kerry is on the line now. Good morning, Walcott.
Yeah, good morning to you, and good morning to all of our valued listeners of this most finest frequency there.
Now we appreciate were you to leave their current location because of the background noise.
Yeah, because there is a rude girl in this community, always in the habit of causing noise, so I've left the area.
Okay, that's good. Now tell us, how is the weather like in Margibi, specifically Kakata City?
Well, as we speak right now, we're having a partly cloudy weather, and the temperature is below 30 degrees and 40 degrees according to my temperature on my phone. And we're expecting a downpour of rain this morning.
Excellent. What is the trending issue now in Margibi County, my brother?
Well, as we speak, the land administrator for Margibi County, in the person of Mason Bobby Yoga, have sent communications to both Marshall and Suffling townships to call them into a conference, at least to help the Liberia Land Authority to mitigating the too many land conflict that is emanating from those two townships. And according to him, according to statistics done by the task force that he has sent out, those two townships, both Marshall and Suffolk townships in the lower end of Magibi County, are the most prone areas when it comes to the too many land conflict in Magibi County. So for these reasons, he has summoned them to a conference, and according to him, he said all is now set for this week to hold the conference in Kakata City, Magibi County.
How important is this conference to Magibians?
It will be very, very important to Magibians and even the country at large, because land is of economic value, and if there is no conflicting situation arising on the land, then there will be peace and stability. And also, land is economically viable for agriculture. So for this reason, Mason Bobby Yoga, since he was sent here by the Liberian Land Authority through its chairman Adams Moduba, is doing all his best, at least to ensure that the land conflicting situation is being mitigated. So this conference will be very, very important, not only to Magibians but the country at large, because according to him, the objective is to see how best to end the too many land conflict that is arising from those two townships in the lower end of Magibi County, and also to attract investors at least to come and do some investment in those two townships in lower end of Magibi County. And as history could recall, we have the Farmington Hotel and some other estates in those areas, even the Robert International Airport, which is an attraction zone for investors. So he see it fit by his professionalism and backed with the Liberia Land Authority, at least to ensure that they call the commissioners, the estate owners, the land sellers, and even some of the buyers who are already in court to come and see how they can find an amicable solution to put an end to the too many land conflicting situation arising from those two townships.
Thank you so much, Walcott Kerry. Again, it was nice having you on the program this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we're packaging a report that the superintendent office is just like a ghost town where there is no electricity supply, and as a result of negligence of government duties, it is constraining the various departments in under his administration, and the generator is in good use, but only to buy fuel, which is 500 Liberian dollars a gallon a day to make the machine very operational. So for the past weeks, the office is just like a ghost town, no electricity there, and even for you to even get cool water to quench your thirst as a visitor coming to do serious business is a problem.
Okay.
So I will file in that report subsequently in our subsequent newscast.
Thank you so much, Walcott Kerry in Magibi County. Folks, we'll close it up right there on the correspondence segment. Okay, but let's go to Bone County before then and speak with our man Nathan Colley from Bone County and find out what's going on in Bone County. This is the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1, and we are on the correspondence segment of the program this morning, where we get to give you information from other parts of Liberia. Like we normally say, Monrovia is not Liberia. And so let's get to Bone County, Central Liberia, and speak with Nathan Colley, who we are trying to track right now on the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1 with me, Fidel Sadie. It seems they need to track up somewhere in the traffic. Be it as it may, we have to go on, and she will join us shortly. But our man Nathan is on the line. Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for having me on the line this morning.
That's good. How is Bone County this morning, Banga?
Central Banga is relatively calm this morning. Everything is going on smoothly.
Okay, and the weather as well.
Yeah. The weather is very nice this morning.
Okay, what do we need to know from Bone County?
You may be aware that the 21st of this month will be the biometric voter registration. So I have deposited the Upper Bon Magistrate, Mr. Daniel Newland, have cautioned citizens to take advantage of the process and to stop the issue of choking because he believed that choking undermines democracy, which is very bad. So he encouraged citizens to form part of the parliamentary voter registration, which will be starting the Friday, the 21st of this month in Banga in the second phase.
Okay, now that the exercise is expected to begin on the 21st of this month, which is on Friday, by the way, has there been any sort of voter registration awareness in parts of Bon County?
Yeah, that way he make the statement after the voter education, the civil voter education. It is on Friday. He said that people should go in the field to create more awareness in the various community, the various campuses, the various parking blocks in the country, and all of that, because you may be aware that Bon County is one of the largest counties in the Republic. They have a lot of tribes in the country, have the better demand, go the Basso, the Loma. So he said that it needs that to increase some jingle on the various community radio station to carry the message out, because the radio could do everything, but even to can send the message in a various vernacular, also help for people to take advantage of the process. So he made a statement, and all of local NGO like the Foundation International Dignity also have an awareness yesterday created. They went to various campuses and places to tell the people to form part of the BVR process, because it was very important, because they be the first one come from Liberia to obtain the biometric voter registration. So it's necessary that everybody take responsibility, including the media, to care all the information about the process.
Okay, all right. And how is the feeling like now that the process will soon commence on Friday? How are the people of Bon County embracing this exercise?
Yeah, people are getting geared to go and form part of the process, and some of the staffing as well, also encouraging their citizens to form part of the process, because if you don't go and register, definitely you will not take part in the Ottawa 10 general election. So they said that to go on the radio station, the various towns and villages to do outreach, to talk to people to go and register. Mainly the farmers, because some are complaining. They said they are participated in several elections. They are not benefited, so they will be able to take to form part of the process. So people are talking to them day by day, and some local NGOs are also creating their own awareness to the lack of funding, but they are trying their possible best to do the form part of the process for people to turn out to register.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Nathan Colley is in Bon County, our man there in Bon County. That's how we sip it out on the program this morning. Yes, we have to close up on the correspondence segment of the program, The Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. Okay, but there's something I'd like to bring to your attention quickly. All right, and that is the conduct of our brothers and sisters who are involved into backing, those who are doing this motorbike business, running commercial motorcycles. We know that these young men have been of help to us. All right, they can easily commute from one point to another, even though in most instances they do it at the peril of our lives, at the peril of their lives as well, because a number of them are very, very intolerant to the traffic rules, the rules and regulations that govern the traffic. Most of them do not go by that. They are very, very much, I mean, what would I say? I mean, they don't obey traffic rules, so to speak. Let me just put it bluntly. They don't obey traffic rules. All right. So they've been doing some job for us. They can easily take our sick relatives while we are rushing. They take us to places. I mean, they've been doing good. But a lot of them, or some of them, have been really raging havoc on the citizenry of this country. Look, I've always told people there are alternative ways of livelihood. Once those ways are intended not to injure anybody, not to offend anybody, anything that puts bread on your table is something that you must jealously protect. And so, like other fields or other things that help people put bread on their table, I believe that those who are motorcyclists should not see this as just a way of putting bread on your table, but a way of sustaining you in the long run. How do you do that? You are a motorcyclist. Your life is not tied to just motorcycling. You can live from one level to another. I know this section seems more like a motivational section, but I'm saying this to these back riders, that your life is not tied to just riding motorbike. So if you see your life as not just been tied to riding motorbike, you will know the significance of protecting yourself. You will also know the significance of ensuring that their passengers are safe, and you also know that your bike should not be used to commit crime, which is the essence of this conversation. Because across Liberia right now, motorbikes are the most used tools for the commission of crimes. The jacking of handbag, the armed robbing of people, motorbikes are used in the process. If for any reason you thought that this motorbike should be used to support me, to take me to school, to pay my school fees, to help me put food on the table for my family, there should be no reason why you should use those same bikes to wreak havoc on the citizenry. There's no way. There should be no way you should use those same motorbikes to wreak havoc on the citizens of your country and residents alike. Those bikes can elevate you from one point to another. Those bikes can elevate you from one point to another. Now let's make this practical for you. And this conversation is very important. You are riding motorbike for somebody. You are to report, I'm sure, somewhere around $1,500 or so to the person who owns the bike. Technically, you make more than $1,500. And then you have to buy gasoline, which is around $800 also for a gallon of gasoline. 800 plus 1,500 is $2,300 that you have to get in order to make the day complete for you. So if you have $2,300, it means you are able to buy a gallon of gas and you are able to give your report money, the $1,500. Now, most of you make more than that amount per day. In some instances, you make $3,000, you make $3,500. So if you were keeping $500 per day, and I want us to make this practical. If you were keeping $500 per day and you run for 5 days in a week, let's do the calculation, my people. 5 times $500 equals $2,500 per week. That is what you will get. $2,500 times 4 weeks, it will give you 10,000 Liberian dollars per month. I excluded Saturday and Sunday, and I include that one there. That one, and I put it there. And I put that part there. So if you made $2,500 per week, it means in a month's time, you should make $10,000. Now, if you are someone who is interested in transitioning from riding motorbike to owning a motorbike, this is what you will do. This is $10,000. We put it aside. Now, a motorbike costs somewhere around $750, or let's put it at $800 for a motorbike. $800 times, what is the current rate now, Smith? 162 times 162 is $129,000. I mean, $129,000 600. Huh? You got it? Yeah, $129,000 600. Now let's divide this by the amount that we generate per month, which is $10,000. $10,000. It means within a year's time, you should be able to buy yourself a motorbike. Is this not practical? Can't you do this? So if you are riding motorbike for somebody, in 1 year time you should be able to buy one motorbike for yourself. Holding all factors constant, I did not include the other days of the week. I didn't include 2 days of the week, which of course you can use for maybe servicing the bike and what have you. But some of you run on Saturdays and run on Sundays, so I just give you that one free. So you should be able to buy yourself a bike in a year's time. $750 for a bike. So I just put it at $800. But you should be able to buy yourself a bike in a year's time. Now, if you are saving this money, some of you are involved into Susu. Some of you, I get plenty of sense now. You are involved into Susu. So if you are able to do this for a year, it means in a year's time, you should not be back riding for somebody again. You should be a back owner now. Now, what happens? You are no longer in that 1 year. After that 1 year, you are no longer making report to somebody. You're not giving money to somebody. It means this time around, you own your own bike. You are reporting to yourself. So if you are reporting to yourself, which means you determine how you use the money, it means you will not have to do crooked cheating again, because of your own money you're making. So you will not be making around $2,500 again. You will be making around $3,000. So if you're making $3,000 per day times 5 days, because I say you will use maybe Sunday or Monday to rest, times $15,000, or times 5, it will give you 15,000. So the 15,000 in times about 1 month, it will give you $60,000. Now if you were to multiply this $60,000 by 12 months, you will have $720,000 in a year's time. Therefore, that motorbike. So it means after 2 years, you should not find yourself riding motorbike for somebody. You should be riding your own motorbike. It means you want to use that as a means of elevating yourself to being a better person, or elevating your life, moving from one step to another. That is how you better your life as a person. So you can't spend 5 years riding back for somebody, then you say you won't be a better person in life. It doesn't work like that. You have to progressively live your life. So in that period, for example, that 1 year period after you finish riding back for somebody, this one you are riding it for yourself now. You can decide, I don't intend to ride this motorbike throughout the day. What I can do is, I have saved up some money to go to vocational school. I want to learn something. I want to learn some kind of trade. I want to be a mechanic, for example, or I want to be a plumber, or I want to be an electrician. So you take maybe 6 months to go to that particular school. You take up some of the money that you are making from the bike that you own now to pay your school fees to that vocation school. You go there for a period of 6 months. Maybe you say your class time that from 4 o'clock maybe to 6 o'clock. It means you can ride your motorbike from in the morning to like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock you go home and get prepared for school. You get on that same motorbike. You go to that vocation school. You go to school. You spend those hours in school. After school, you don't again have to go and ride it back. But if you have that strength, you can go and ride it back again for a few more hours to cock up something. You get small more money. You go and save it. I know you eating, you servicing the back and all of that. But then you are going to school. So after a period of 6 months, you wouldn't have only saved up some money. You have also gained vocational and technical skills that you can take to another level. Now, after acquiring those skills, maybe you say you learn how to be mechanic. You say, I will ride it back maybe in the evening, because in the morning, after these 6 months, I have to go to a garage where I would be practicing. Now you are practicing to be a proper mechanic. You start working on people's car. Maybe within a space of 4 months, you are able to do work, practical work on a car. You build that skill. That how many years now pass? That 2 years now pass. Because at 1 year you use it to buy your own motorbike. The other year you use a motorbike and go into vocational school for that 6 months. After the 6 months, you're using 4 more months, which is 10. Which will make it 10 months. 4 months to go, or let's say 6 months to go through internship and what have you. Through that, in 6 months' time, after you've gained the knowledge from the vocational school, that other 6 months for practical education, you should have known how to fix something on a car. Or you should be able to install a camo if you are a plumber. Or you should be able to install lights. Alright? Wire an entire building during that period. That means you've added knowledge to what you've gained. So in 2 years' time, you will have acquired a motorbike, gain vocational education, and be able to have an alternative source of revenue for yourself in 2 years. So the 2 years John Brown yesterday, 2 years ago, is not the same John Brown in this current dispensation. So he has elevated himself from just being a bike rider for somebody to being a bike owner and being able to acquire vocational and technical skills. So he can fix somebody's car now, he can install camo now, or run someone a sewage system in their homes, or be able to install lights in homes. That is how he has elevated himself. It was what? Through that motorbike. That one motorbike you had to ride. That is how you've been able to elevate yourself. Now, then you give yourself some more time again. You say, in maybe 6 more months, which will be 2 years, 4 months, because that 10 months you use for that, 4 months you use for the internship. In 1 year, in 3 years, you will be able to get a life for yourself, which means you do not have to necessarily ride motorbike again. You can get contracts here and there. You can gain employment with institutions and start making your own money. From there, you can decide now, okay, I want to further this and go to an engineering school and maybe gain a degree in education, in engineering, or whichever field you decide to go to better your life. So in 4 years, maximum, 4 years, you will not be that back rather than we knew 4 years ago. That is how you better your life. So I'm saying this to our brothers and sisters who are in or riding motorbikes across the country. Do not keep yourselves stagnated to just being back riders. You are building families. Some of you got 2-3 children. How do you support those children? For us to elevate our families from poverty means we have to go the extra mile. That is the acquisition of knowledge. So stop using these motorbikes to commit crimes, where at the end of the day you will be killed, or using motorbike to harm other people, trying to take other people's bikes from them, to the point where you have to inject people. I saw a story on social media from one of my big brothers, Markfire David, where he narrated that his little brother was injected by some people who he had taken from one point to another in the car well end, and they injected the man on a motorbike and took the bag from the guy. So they did not only take the bag, they also injected him. Now that guy doesn't seem to be in a good shape. That is the way some of you guys are very evil-minded. Those motorbikes should be used for the right purposes. So like I just stated, if you just follow that pattern, It's not that there will not be disruption in these processes, because it appears, like I've said it, with no disruption. But those 2 days that I've left out could be used as the days that will patch all of the disruptions that you will have in the process. So you do not have to use motorbikes to commit crime. You can use those motorbikes to better your life. Somebody will look at you today and say, "Can't ride my motorbike." Do not see it just as a permanent employment for yourself. See it as a tool of elevating you from your current state to a better state where you deserve to be. That is my caution to you this morning. If you are riding keke as well, the same applies to you. You can elevate your life from just being someone who rides a keke. For 5 years, you've been riding keke. For 10 years, you've been riding keke. That is not where you're supposed to be. You should reach a stage where people start riding keke for you too. That is what you should do for yourselves. That is the life you should plan for yourself. You are not made to be just mere back riders. That is how we will elevate our society tomorrow. That is where we will secure our society. Because by extension, the way those who are at the lowest ebb of the economic ladder are able to take themselves from poverty and come out, that's how we secure our country. If a few of us are opportune to live better lives and the rest of the population are living in abject poverty, it means we are no longer safe. Because those same people will wreak havoc on us. They will harass us. They will come into our homes and rob us. And they will make the society insecure. I just thought to say that because I believe that there are several young people out there who are riding motorbikes quite legitimately because they want to make a living. But let's go an extra mile and make a life out of the bikes that we ride, instead of just being dependent on back riding. For 6 years you've been riding back now. You've not acquired any skill. You've just been riding one person back to another. That is not what your life should be like. You should be above just riding motorbike and make your life a bit more worth it. All right, make your life a bit more worth it. Now let's go to our other issue this morning, and that's regards the armed forces of Liberia. You know, when after our civil war in 2003, the UN and ECOWAS, they came in to train our people. I mean, after the DDRR process, they thought to build an army and a new army away from that factionalized army that we had during the course of our civil conflict. And the intent was to make a responsible force that will protect the territorial confines of the Republic of Liberia. And that was perfectly done. That was perfectly done. The AFL was brought up bit by bit through that process, thanks to our international partners. They've been very supportive. The United States government, the United Nations, they've been providing equipment. They've been providing infrastructural development on the sites, the different bases across Liberia. They've been supporting the armed forces of Liberia. And thankfully, we have the head of the army who has been very, very much supportive to what the UN did over the time. And the army has maintained her independence. The army has maintained her professionalism through Prince C. Johnson. They've been doing a great job. And so Liberia has been going on peacekeeping missions across Africa, and notably in Mali. That's where our first troops went, in Mali. So we are at the verge of going to elections. The armed forces of Liberia is sending troops, or about to send troops out of Liberia. And it's not that it is a bad idea, because when we were in our crisis, troops from across other parts of Africa were able to come here and keep peace. But I am thinking that we should do it with a bit of caution. Why am I calling for caution in the deployment of forces right now in other parts of Africa? Because I believe that our country is at the verge of going to elections. We are all aware that we have serious capacity gap in our security force or security forces. The army, the police, the LDEA, all right, the immigration. We do have issues within these areas. Now that our country is going to elections, I believe a majority of those who are in the security sector must remain in Liberia. Why is it important? We are not prophets, but it is important as we go to these elections that we have the adequate manpower that will ensure that our territorial confines are protected and that we have a strong security presence across the length and breadth of this country. Because it is during these electionary processes that people exploit and bring violence in a country. Liberia is not exempt from such a security caution. It is important that, in fact, what we have at the Armed Forces of Liberia as of 2020, we had 2,100 personnel in the Armed Forces of Liberia. 2,100 personnel as of 2020 in the Armed Forces of Liberia. And you and I know that the issue of retention has been a problem. Morale has been a problem. And because of these morale issues and retention issues, there are some who have left the army. So the figures might not be 2,100 again. The Liberian National Police, according to the United Nations Security Council report of 2020, it indicated that we have 8,945 personnel in the Liberian National Police, which I believe is insignificant for a population of over 5 million people. Quite insignificant for a population of 5 million people. So if you were to combine the Armed Forces of Liberia, the Liberia Immigration Service, the Liberia National Police, we may not be up to 10,000 person or up to 15,000, so to speak, which I believe is significant enough to man our borders and ensure that our internal security is strengthened and protected. That is dependent on whether there will be logistics provided for these security forces during the course of our election process. So it is not that the idea of deploying troops while we are going to elections is bad. Is that we have to do it consciously so that we do not go short of personnel in the event where there is a need for us to have our security forces intact. Because I believe that the security of our state is paramount than even having other security, protecting the borders of other countries. So I thought that the Armed Forces of Liberia should take this into due cognizance. But I've been joined let's do that by my colleague Dennis Dempsey. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Fidel. And you always exposing me like that.
Let's do that. I got to school late. But I guess you were caught up in the traffic. We always give traffic alert.
Yes, very much.
If you do not get up at a certain point in the morning,
yes,
you get caught up. Nobody is beyond reproach when it comes to that. And so you are a victim of the alerts that you normally give.
And that what I said to myself on my way here. I was like, wow, I'm part of the alert I've been given.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good to be here on today. Like you said it right as it relates to even the motorcyclists and the AFL. It is very much important because most of our brothers and folks who are involved with this issue of motorbikes, some of them, feel that it is all to that because on a daily basis, perhaps they get some little money on them, so they feel that, oh yes, I'm comfortable with where I am, so there's no need for me to expand or do something better. But I know a couple of guys who are involved in terms of motorbike riding, and they are at the University of Liberia and other universities, ensuring that they can better their lives because they see Liberia and their future as the bike they are riding now. There will be time that they will need to do other things, so they are at universities, they are at vocational institutions, acquiring knowledge that will help them to better their lives. And you said it right, it is very much important. There are others who are misusing this whole motorbike issue and stealing from people, carrying on criminal activities. And I fell victim of that before I was on my way from work in the evening at night, and a guy came closer to me, raised his bike and was about to check my bag, snatch my bag, and then I got hold of it. So these are things that they do on a regular basis. I saw a motorbike rider snatching a female bag when she came out of the supermarket. She was heading to her car and they just took the bag from her. So these things happen. It is important and that we talk about it, and those who are engaged in such behavior should desist. You can do better things with your life. And with the issue of the strength of the armed forces of Liberia, it is important that the armed forces of Liberia gets stronger, because we know in time past, in terms of the Liberia National Police, there have been incidents or where people sometimes depend on the AFL to come and beef up the strength of the LNP. We have seen that even with the issue of the Omega situation, where there's huge traffic congestion, people at this point in time in Liberia, in terms of the Liberia National Police, people are trying to overlook them. So at times when they say things, people don't, they disregard them and do not respect them. When it comes to the AFL, they have high regard for them. It is important that these are critical point in time, they are beefed up to also stick around to help the police in whatever means. We are not opting or praying for anything ugly, but it is good to always have your security intact.
Exactly, have your security intact, and that's why we are cautioning the armed forces of Liberia. It's good. All right. I mean, I've seen a lot of people pressing that's not a bad idea, but we also have to keep our eyes on our elections. That people are may come from other parts of the sub-region and come into Liberia. We don't know with what intent. So we have to protect our territorial confines and know that it's secure and our elections can go on unhindered. Because we don't want people to ferment violence in our country, and we do not have the capacity to contain those instances of violence that will take place. Like you said, there's this gross disrespect for the Liberia National Police by citizens. But by the time you got AFL, everybody put their say in check. Because they know what the AFL is about. So again, we understand those who are in the army often, Denise, they are dormant. And that's why people have proposed the dissolution of the army. I do not agree with that, but people have proposed that. The manager taking pay, they're not doing nothing.
Right.
They
so,
can practice.
So they want war to come?
But when we the armed forces, you're supposed to protect us. So in 20 years, when one can mean you just be the armed.
No, I think they are providing security, their borders control, and all of that, and also they are contributing to peacekeeping. We saw in Mali and other parts, they are also contributing. So it is important to have your army, the army be strong. And I tell you, Fidel, if you have a country without a military, you are not a country.
You are vulnerable.
Yes, because all of these things contribute to your strength as a nation. And how you gain, authority among other countries. So if you cannot portray yourself as a nation that has army, then who are you? So it is important that they're around, and the young leader who happens to be Prince Johnson, he has been doing well, with the army, and we have seen that. So it is something that they need to double up in terms of more men. The last time there were recruitment done, where they also encourage females to be part of the army. So it is a good thing that the security of our country matters, and they have been doing well, and at the borders end they are there working. So there will be those who calling for that are part is not it's not accepted.
It's not accepted. All right, at 9 o'clock, Robert Saming, who is the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment, will be our guest on the program this morning on ABC Radio 105.1. But let's look at this final thing about this biometric. Dennis, the political commentator and chairman of the Council of Patriots, he held a press conference on yesterday.
Henry Costa.
Henry Costa. And according to him, what we have now is not a biometric exercise. It's not a biometric process. Because if it were biometric, there should not be duplication of names. Denise is unique. When Denise has her fingerprints placed somewhere, and that system is biometric, if she leaves from here and go to Grand Julia County, once it's biometric, the system will automatically recognize Denise's fingerprint, and it wouldn't allow her to go through. But this system that we have, it permits Denise to register before saying that Denise registered 2 times in the system. For him, that is not biometric. What do you think?
So firstly, then we will ask Henry Costa, what his own interpretation of biometric voter biometric exercise, right? And like he talked about that is not biometric, because we all know that in terms of the biometric voter registration exercise, we have seen instances or instant where someone registered twice and was detected within the system.
Was it the system that detected it, or it was the laser? They had a laser light, right? So if they suspect that you did not register, you've registered, right? What they do is they place the laser light on you, and that laser light has something that will tell. Right here, they place something there that we can see on our thumb. They place something there. Once they flash that light there, the light will show the thing that they put there that you can see. So that was what they used to determine those who were registering twice. Now, what they are saying, the National Elections Commission is saying that they will go in the system, and all of those who names there, who registered 2 times, they will remove those names from there. They will see duplicate of the registration. They will remove the name from there. That is their way of cleaning the system. For him, there will be no one who will be there who will be looking at NEC cleaning the system. So it brings about credibility issue, and it renders the integrity of this entire voter registration exercise questionable. That's what he believes. So if the system he believes is automated instead of saying biometric, an automated system is a system that does not require you to maybe do the rare and all that kind of thing. You just put it in and boom, 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 it comes through. That is an automated system. A biometric system is the one that detects either through fingerprint, through facial recognition, or the people can do fingerprints sometimes, or your palm, like that. That's a biometric system. It means it cannot be duplicated. It will be detected immediately once it's in the system. Now when when you go to the airport, once they ride you through, sometimes you don't have to show your how they call it, your passport. All right, all they do is you just ask for your name, and they pull your hand on that thing, boom, your whole information will come up. That's a biometric system.
Yeah, so Fidel, with that, like you said, there are other factors they are using. So with that, I don't want to really dwell on what Costa has said, except I do my own investigation and find out as to how the process is being done and what entails that. Because in terms of the biometric, because he can.
And you do registration?
I did registration, and according to them, it's biometric, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I cannot take a word of a politician to
Exactly.
make it law and gospel. So if I have tested the system and gone through it, see why it takes, how they are doing it, then I will know that yes, indeed, what Costa is saying is true. But as it is now, and we have gone through the process, if perhaps there's reservation, I think that reservation perhaps will come in subsequent time with other system, because if the National Elections Commission told us that it is biometric, I think they should have done all of the works that are necessary to ensure that this is a biometric. This is why in every time we talk about not doing things the usual way, the Liberian way, if you say, oh, this is this, and then you bring up another thing. So it is good to be fair to the process too, as the National Elections Commission. If it is not biometric and they're just doing it electronically, they should tell people that this is what we are doing and what I feel. But as it takes now, I don't want to say whether it is biometric or it's not biometric, but I think we should work with what we have, and the National Elections Commission should be held accountable in case anything goes wrong. That's why those are actors, political actors within this whole situation, should be on their alert to ensure that yes, the rightful things are done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did a bit of research on this biometric thing, and because I did not want to validate just the comment or comment of Costa, I did a bit of research, and this is what I found out, that it is not possible. There's something, even though there's something called a biometric spoofing, SPOOFING. Biometric spoofing means I have registered in a system, right? And my physiological details are there, or physical details are there, because you can either do physiological biometrics or physical biometrics, which obviously is a difficulty in our country. But biometric spoofing means if I went to register, I went to this center and they took in my details as Fidel Sedi. Now my details are in the system, but what I can do is to find a way to hide. Maybe it's my fingerprint they use. I just go to somebody's thumb and press that part of thumb too, ink it on mine, and go to the system and put it there. That system will not detect me as Fidel Sedi because I have played or manipulated my fingerprints. So there I have spoofed SPOOF. I have spoofed the entire system. So it is possible, but in a country like Liberia, we are not. Okron, we are not used to those things. Our people know how to. What would be the intent of committing the crime of biometric spoofing? What would be the essence of going through all of those hassles? Because you will want to do something very, very important in order to do biometric spoofing. So it is not possible. So if this is biometric, it means our physical features are being recorded, which is clearly identical to us as persons. Now, because we're trying to make sure that this statement, we analyzing a statement to make sure that whether they're correct in talking. So if you analyze my fingerprint, which is identical to myself, it means when I go somewhere else to register, it should be detected that I've already registered because it's been reflected in the system if it is biometric. So this debate, even though we do not agree in Liberia, but then we part by one process, we say we can waste our time on it and let's just move forward. So I am saying, and it's important because our country, Liberia, we use plenty of money on this system. The international partners, they use plenty of money on this system. So we can't have people coming under the banner of this process being a biometric voter registration exercise when clearly it is not. That is deception to the core. And it's something that we have to point out. So if these individuals are aware that this system is not biometric, why did they give us the impression that this is a biometric system? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. It's an issue of integrity, Dennis, instead of just being an issue of us passing a particular exercise because it has been completed. The way we say, one of the reasons why we criticize the legislature is because of the bylaws that they pass and because of the way they act on national budget. Some of them do not even read the budget. They just pass it like that. So if you pass the budget under the cloud of deception, it means you are as responsible as those who are stealing the money from the covers of government.
Sure.
So the same applies to this whole NEC thing. So David Eto Brown Lasana and her folks at NEC, they have to come clean on this. Maybe that special kind of biometric system they bring, but the biometric system that we know should be able to detect that this individual has registered and he cannot register 2 times. That is a biometric system, except there is another definition to what a biometric system should look like. Dennis, that's my say on this whole biometric thing. So the conversation will continue, and we will get to relevant stake actors, because this is an integrity issue and it borders on the integrity of our elections. Because if a system that is biometric cannot detect individuals that have registered twice, automatically they have to look through the system before it's detected, then there is a problem. It means Denise Nipsey could use like 5 names in the system without being detected, and she can vote 5 times without being detected, which is tantamount to fraud and cannot be permitted in our election process. Let's run to the phone lines now. 9 more minutes to go for our break. When we come back, we take Robert Sami, who is the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment. The numbers, Denise.
077-105-100, 055-105-100 are the numbers to call to have your say on the program. You listen to all of the discussion and points. Let's hear you. What do you make of the assertion by Henry Costa that the system introduced by the National Elections Commission is not biometric? Let's hear you on the program.
Okay, let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning.
My name is Chaya Shikara, and I think I called to make a contribution, especially regarding the biometrics.
Let's hear you, my brother.
Yes, first, before I say anything, I supported the establishment of the biometric system at the National Identification Registry and also at the Ministry of Transport. So I think Costa has a point. The reason why I said so is because the National Election Commission hasn't educated the public about how the system works. In introducing a biometric system, there are steps, there are processes. So your physical biometrics, your fingerprint is collected, but something has to happen in the background that is called deduplication. So yes, you have to cross your biometrics against all the other biometrics in the system to establish whether or not that biometric is already in the system. And for that to happen, you have to read from a single database. Not separate databases. So considering the network infrastructure system with the issues we have in this country, how possible is it, considering the magnitude or how heavy the data is, how possible is it to synchronize a biometric directly from River G in an instant to the central database at NEC? You think that's possible with the network system we have? So what happens is this. They will collect the biometrics and later synchronize with the national database, and then deduplication takes place at NEC. So it's not that it's not biometric, it's just that when you go in the field, in biometric implementation, we have kits. So they give you the kits, you go in the field, collect the biometrics, and we will synchronize later, the deduplication takes place. So it's not that it's not biometric.
Great insight.
Yeah, but deduplication is not instant. It's not real time because of the network infrastructure problems we have.
Great. Thank you so much. You seem to be very knowledgeable.
That's some of the reservation I had in terms of.
Like you stated, you said it from the onset. It was not explained. Good morning.
Morning, Julia.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you, brother. This is Edward Spencer Encho. And I coach my resident here in Tuguru. But Mr. Sidio, I want to ask you a question. I'm not already asking you a question, but I want to say this. I'm listening to Heron Flomo. Is it Heron Flomo?
No.
The communication director out
there. Yes.
Okay. On for that, he said that the reason they're using the biometric is that to deter fraud, to stop people from not registering 2 times. And the reason why he's taking your fingerprint, because your one has fingerprint, your fingerprint is only once in the world. No one has a similar fingerprint. So if you put your fingerprint, then no way that you can go to register again. But I'm surprised to hear from them myself, seeing that people who register 2 times, clean the photo roll, this and that. So why was the essence of taking people's fingerprint? I mean, it just got me surprised. I was like astonished because people they have fingerprint in order to deter to stop them to go register twice. I mean, why is that only Okay. Before I can go quickly, I think also raise a point. Like in my own time, there's no called card water in number 3 and cable water in number 2. 2 days now is starting of the it's a slim way for all. Okay. With the 2 days, I go for 2 hours to go to Ascent, they go back again. So now they put to a racing number 2 to have them more than no more.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, this is the God thing to you,
That's it, my brother.
I'm Michaelis. So, I'm going to talk on the 2 issues with the parliamentary and the psychological behavior. So, I'm a human rights activist from the far, and for what Costa say, I agree with him, 95%, because though there are some issues that I don't quite agree, but for this one, when you talk about parliamentary, like God created us different. Your fingerprint is not mine. And the system is built that your fingerprint, as long as you put your finger there, is captured. And then when you come for the second time, the system will book you. But if you say, and we are saying that people registering twice, and the National Election Commission is telling us that they will go in the system and fish out for those who register twice, then you are lying to us. This is not parliamentary. It's something else. So let it come up with the actual thing that they should tell us. Right? So another thing for the psychologists.
Quickly, we have to take others.
Quickly for the psychologists. I was a psychologist, right? I was the chairman for the psychologists in New Jersey. And but at the time, and two line cycle, I was out of high school. I was out of school, but I went back to school and then graduated from high school. Now I try to do to enter in this advocacy, and now I'm the executive director for Community Empowerment and for Human Rights Protection.
Good.
And so that comes from the psychologist background. So those guys who think that only cycle riding is their end, I don't think they are trying on a good path.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let it continue to be safe and think of future. It should not be so complacent that they have arrived.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let's let you go. Let's call this person on. Good morning.
Good morning, Peter City.
Good morning, my brother.
My name is Father Gu, and I joined you this morning from Brooklyn. The issue about the biometric, she was ready, not ready. We can easily say no, it's fantastic. Because what that was saying, he was right. Like, I know some fellows know that register 2-3 times. Yeah, you can use your fingerprint and register.
Hello. Okay, he froze off. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Dennis.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, I see you, David.
Yeah, I just want to thank you and Sis Dennis for providing our quality education for our brothers that are back in around Monrovia. But this back issue, we have 2 sides of it. There are most of our brothers that jump into this back issue and don't want to go to school any longer. And most of them are taking this as advantage to further education. But one of the things I want to speak on, Fidel, the issue of the back in Monrovia is giving us too much problem. I think I can recall my phone or a back driver check my phone somewhere around the street. Some 7-8 months ago. And one thing, Fidel, they always on the opposite lane. They always ride on the opposite lane. If you try to look around to find a way to cross while you're looking on the other side of the opposite lane, no car or no bag or keke can come from this side, you find it coming from this side. On previous occasion, they try to hit me. So I think National Police have to step up and thank you this morning for
Thank you very much. 0770 0777
105 100 0555 105 100.
Okay, those are the numbers. Take one more call, go for our break, and then we usher in Robert Sami, who I believe is already in the building as our guest on the program this morning on the Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. And it's already 9 o'clock on the dot. We're not taking just all your calls. Let's take this break and be right back on the program this morning.
Rovia, oh Rovia. Yes, Rovia Logistics is back. Have you been looking for a one-stop shop to rent and hire machineries of all types? Look no further. Rovia Logistics Incorporated is the answer. Rovia Logistics has a wide range of machines like dump trucks to haul your sand, red dye, crush rocks, and border rocks.
As for your construction needs, do not worry. Rovia Logistics have all sizes of yellow machines to meet your desire. They have machines like bulldozers, compactors, excavators, forest machines, backhoes, and many more.
The interesting part is you get to hire them hourly, daily, or monthly. And that's not all. They also rent pickups of all types like Toyota Tacoma, Nissan Frontiers, Ford F-250, and they are equipped with all-wheel drive options for bad road conditions. Locate Rovia Logistics Incorporated right at the corner of McDonough and Carey Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street.
Contact Rovia Logistics on cell numbers 0777-874-231 or 0888-726-172. You can also email them on rovialib@gmail.com.
Better still, WhatsApp Rovia Logistics on 0777-874-231 or message them on Facebook, Rovia Logistics Incorporated. Rush now for quality services at affordable prices.
God, don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. You told me not to worry. Wish you give you thanks and praise. Akapele kuwa spell. Me I understand the trail. Me I give it all to you. Give it all to you. And I got faith to say.
Gifty, where did you get the bricks you used to build your house? See how strong the bricks look.
I got them from Rovia Bricks. Do not tell me you have not heard about Rovia Bricks.
You mean they are located in Liberia?
Yes, Angie. Rovia Bricks is a division of Rovia Logistics Incorporated, and they offer a variety of concrete products for all your construction needs. They have 6, 7, 8, and 4 inches blocks. That's not all.
Tell me more.
Rovia Bricks have covers for rows and well, cornerstones, Colombo blocks, yard tiles, sand, be it smooth, rough, and mixed. They even have red dyes for land filling and crush rocks of all sizes.
How can I get to them?
You can locate Rovia Bricks right at the corner of McDonough and Carey Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street. Call Rovia Bricks on 0777-874-231 or 0888-726-172. Email them on rovialib@gmail.com. Better still, WhatsApp them on 0777-874-231 or Facebook Rovia Logistics Incorporated.
I'm calling them right now for that man's swampy land. No time to waste.
Man, take it easy.
Dama, share on your share, oh my oh. Then care with me as soon as you tell.
Gifty, where did you get the bricks you used to build your house? See how strong the bricks look.
I got them from Rovia Bricks. Do not tell me you have not heard about Rovia Bricks.
You mean they are located in Liberia?
Yes, Angie. Rovia Bricks is a division of Rovia Logistics Incorporated, and they offer a variety of concrete products for all your construction needs. They have 6, 7, 8, and 4 inches blocks. That's not all.
Tell me more.
Rovia Bricks have covers for rows and well, cornerstones, Colombo blocks, yard tiles, sand, be it smooth, rough, and mixed. They even have red dyes for land filling and crush rocks of all sizes.
How can I get to them?
You can locate Rovia Bricks right at the corner of McDonough and Carey Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street. Call Rovia Bricks on 0777-874-231 or 0888-726-172. Email them on rovialib@gmail.com. Better still, WhatsApp them on 0777-874-231 or Facebook Rovia Logistics Incorporated.
I'm calling them right now for that man's swampy land.
You told me not to worry. We should give you thanks and praise.
Trendybeats.com.
Me, I understand the drill. Me, I give it all to you. Give it all to you. And I got friends.
Okay, welcome back to the program this morning, The Morning Breeze on ABC Radio 105.1. And let's go to our live feed this morning. Jackson Twanzama Smith said, "Great work, guys." Sylvester Bimba said, "Good morning. I'm watching from Tottenham City." Samuel B. Gibson Senior says, "Fidel, that had been my question, and thank you for thinking in the same direction. God bless." Stephen Johnson said, "I'm watching live from the office of the Bombing Youth Caucus based in Monroe, Maserado County, that is. All right, so keep sharing our video, watching, and have your input on those things that we're discussing on the program this morning as well. All right, so we already have on studio our guest this morning, Denise, Robert Saming. Of the Movement for Economic Empowerment.
Sure.
Move. They can say move. Good morning, Mr. Simon. Welcome to ABC Radio.
Good morning, Fidel. And let me say good morning to your co-host and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia, especially the members and partisans of the great movement for economic empowerment, MOVE.
That's good.
That's good.
How is MOVE? How is MOVE doing?
Very vibrant. Political party. We are doing great. We are grateful for his blessings. That the party has been rebranded. We call it a new MOVE that is gradually becoming the premier political party in Liberia.
The premier.
The premier.
Okay, that's good. Nice to hear. Now, but let's start up on this note. You were funded in 2016, just before the elections, by then Central Bank Governor Mills Jones, and you've experienced election as a party. After the elections, what went wrong? That Mills Jones was kicked out of the picture, as I would consider it. What actually went wrong?
No, but you are having a history quite differently.
Oh, differently.
Yes.
What is the real history?
The real history is that we were organized, legalized in 2015, in September 24, 2015, by the National Election Commission. And in March 2016, we had our first convention in Bonkanti. And the people who organized MOVE, the incorporators of MOVE, Dr. Jones is not an incorporator, but Dr. Jones was our first standard bearer.
Okay.
MOVE was organized and established by like-minded individuals, that is, people who believe in economic empowerment. Like myself at the time, I was the president for the Liberia Motorcycle Transport Union. And Ambassador D. Maswes Akimian Senior was the president for the Liberia Business Association. And Mr. Bros and what I call Rosetta Jones was a market woman. So these are the people that came together looking at the economic circumstances of ordinary Liberian people like ourselves, thought that we needed to form a political party that could champion economic empowerment of Liberians. And at the time, coincidentally, Dr. Joseph Jones was at the central bank, who took key interest in empowering Liberians. He went into microfinance establishment, credit unions, helping ordinary Liberians. So we thought these were like-minded individuals that came together. And Dr. Jones, being the governor of the central bank and was seated at that level of society, we thought to approach him to be our first standard bearer. And of course, in becoming our first standard bearer, we went to the 2017 election. All what that happened, the Liberian people did not elect him. And so here we are today. Yes.
And he came fourth place, which was good.
No, he did not come fourth place. We came seventh place.
Seventh place.
Yes, seventh place. We came seventh place. Yes, of course. And that is good as compared. We have 22 political parties and we came seventh. So yes,
for a new political party,
for
that was
a new
good.
political party, a very, very new political party, 2016 to 2017. I mean, 2015 to 2017. That's about 2 years, less than 2 years, and then we went to elections. So, and I end up being the conspiracy against our party and our standard bearer, who could have done better, who could have won the election. You saw that the Code of Conduct, the Central Bank Act, the National Legislature, the Executive Action, all of them went against our party because they saw that we were very formidable.
You have beaten George Weah.
Of course, we could have won the election at the time. Of course. But again, that is it. That's our politics. You must be, if there's manipulation in politics and you are a politician, you must be able to make the manipulation in your favor.
What lessons have you learned?
We've learned that collaboration in political engagement in Liberian politics is good. You need to talk to people across the aisle. You need to have everybody understanding exactly what you want to do. One person cannot do it. That is what we've learned. We've learned that party should be, the manifesto of the party should be understood by the ordinary people. Party should not be built around individual. Party should be built based on the philosophy and ideology of the party, that people understand exactly what the party stands for. So even if one person is leaving, people will still stand with the thought and the philosophy of the party. So that's something.
Is that why you joined the Rainbow Coalition?
Not
the Rainbow
necessarily.
Alliance.
Not necessarily. No, the Rainbow Alliance, we are no longer in the Rainbow Alliance.
Yeah, I say, is that why you joined immediately after the elections?
No, the Rainbow Alliance, I'm one person who opposed a move joining the Rainbow Alliance.
And you were suspended for that, by the way.
I was even expelled for that, and people realized that I had my reasons were genuine. And that is why I came by and became chairman.
Why did you
oppose
joining the
Because I truly believe that to form a merger or alliances or coalition should be based on commonalities. So I saw that, especially to the Two-Way Party move, did not really have anything in common with the Two-Way Party. A party that led the country for more than 130 years and brought us where we are. So what commonalities do we really have with a party that led the country and brought where we are? Members of the party got rich at the expense of our people, exploited the country 130 years, and here we are. So the fact work in government, you need to be, if you even work in government, you need to be paying task to the party. And that's the reason why, if you can follow, you'll realize that that's the reason why the TRC said the Two-Way Party headquarters, the EU building, they should be confiscated by the government. Government should take that building. So which means their actions as a party at the time contributed to the war that we fought. And some of those things that they acquire were not acquired legally. So we cannot be a party that talking about empowering ordinary Liberians, trying to transform the country, and say we have commonality with them. Posterity could have judged us harshly, and that's why I stood my ground, and they booted me out. But they got to realize that indeed my points were valid, and so that's why I'm not chairman of the party. So and we are doing very well.
So you just stated that you came close to winning the elections, if it wasn't for the conspiracy, that went against your former standard bearer. So I'd like to know, with his, strength, why he was sidelined.
No, you see, that's why I said party should be based on philosophy. Party should have strong laws. In move, I, as Secretary General, like he was, the bylaws and constitution. The bylaws and constitution.
What are some of them?
The bylaws and constitution, for example, my understanding is that he went to the could not have been taken from the party in that manner, and he was approached, and then he responded in ways that were unbecoming of a standard bearer of the party. So the party leadership decided that no matter who you are not above the laws of the party. So that's the same way. In the laws are violated, they ask him to go to the Grievance and IT Committee for investigation party. So now the complaint was lodged. No matter how big you are, if you violate the law, you must be able to submit yourself. So James, the Assistant Secretary for Administration, then said that he was being brutalized at the command or at the order of the standard bearer in the party premise. So that's where the Grievance and the Executive Committee deemed it necessary that he should be subjected to the grievance and ethics committee to explain the reason why you should not be held in contempt. So he said no, he was not going to instead. So he was going to resign. And so we allowed him to resign, but he was suspended. And later he resigned from the party. So that's what happened. So I too stood against the weight of the majority that no, this was not the right way to go at the time. They thought that I was in the wrong. So they expelled me. So MOVE is a party of law, not of men. No matter how powerful you think, if you transgress, the law will take its course.
What are the processes that led to
all of what we stood for, all of what we said in the past that could have come to pass, came to pass. That Rainbow Alliance is not going anywhere, and we don't have anything in common. So you can't take MOVE, for example. MOVE collaborated with CDC in 2017, second round. So all our partisans across the country know that. So if you want to withdraw the party from the CDC, it is just good enough for you to announce it publicly and state reason why you want to withdraw from the CDC. And those were the positions that we said. I'm not against us withdrawing from the CDC, but let it be formal. Let's communicate. Let's talk to our people. Let the people get to know. So when the people are informed about our decision, then we can withdraw. Because this is a state matter. This is not no child play. But people just wanted to do it because they have some motives. So they went to the way they want to go. And I didn't want to go because I stood by principle. So at the end of the day, looking around, people who really understand the philosophy, the ideology of the party, I'm one of them. I'm an incorporator. If you check on the article incorporation MOVE, my name is there.
It is believed that you conspired with D. Maxwell Kemea to have Mills Jones removed from the party because D. Maxwell Kemea had his head towards being the political leader of MOVE.
No, I mean, that was never his thought. If you really saw the relationship between Ambassador Kemea and Dr. Jones, you can never believe that Mr. Kemea is somebody who serves his leader. Very humble person. You saw at the time he used to provide security. He used to serve Dr. Jones as if he was nothing by himself, but a well-established, but he used to serve Dr. Jones as if he's just an ordinary person. So nobody can tell you that and you believe that. That's not true.
Okay, so after your elections, I mean, after your convention, you were elected chairman. Which I know you are very, very proud of, considering the history that you have in MOVE as being one of the frontliners. You were elected chairman, and in less than 5 months, you joined the coalition. You started flirting with the coalition, by the way, because you started with flirting. You started flirting with the coalition, and later you joined the coalition for democratic change. What led to that decision?
So you see, and like I said, in the rear, we took over in the electionary year, or the electionary periods. I took over September 17. I was elected by a special convention, and I was asked to go to county conventions to elect new leadership because all our chapters were closed, our offices were closed, our headquarters was dogma. And everything about the party was like dead. I would have said, okay, I was near dead, because if I said I was dead, then how will you bring dead body to life? So they'll be asking, how can we manage? So I was near dead. So we had to go into all of that to ensure that we brought back the party to life. And I told people, give me the next 6 months, you will see a new MOVE that you will be very proud of. And I'm proud that we've been able to do that even exceedingly. We've brought the party to a level where that everyone appreciates and everyone is proud of, including yourself today. That I've been able to work along with my colleagues and our political leader to have brought the party where it is today. The decision to go to the coalition was not taken overnight. We had convention, we had meetings, we had consultation. First, when we took over, we were observing, so the MOVE was in the alliance at the time. That was in real critical position. So when we came back, we gave time. We didn't just immediately take the party from the alliance. We gave time after all of those things. Then we started observing the opposition and to see whether they could provide a better alternative to President Weah's leadership or the present administration. But we saw that even the arrangement of the framework document became very chaotic to the extent that there was almost like a crisis. In fact, there was a crisis among the opposition. 4 groups could never agree to face one document. So what that tells us is that there was lack of common interests. There was lack of leadership. All right. So the Liberian people were not, the issue was not about the Liberian people, because the first document even created was that only those people who were due pay were going to get a job. So it was about job. It was not about development. It was not about the ordinary people. So because of that, and they were criticized, that was the beginning of the problem. So they told them not to go back. They decided to go to review to take that clause out. They set a special committee. Then people started placing into the clause their own interests. So it was not about the Liberian people. So there was lack of leadership. There was lack of vision. So and we didn't see anything in common. So that's why we said we didn't go there, that we can't serve with this type of opposition, because we were not ready as a party, as a convention said, to field a presidential candidate. So we were looking for a presidential candidate that we could support based on commonality, based on leadership ability, and so forth. So we sat and then we looked at President Weah and the coalition. There were 3 that came together. Yes, they may have their own disagreements, but they have been able to manage themselves to this level, and they provide leadership to the country. Considerably, they have done well, looking at the circumstances, the conditions that they inherited, and the present circumstances that everyone is faced with across the world, the coronavirus, and all of, under that war in Ukraine, and so forth. So we decided to say, well, we cannot change the government or President Weah's government for change's sake. If we want to change, we should be bringing something better. This is good. So if you want to change good, you should choose good for better. Or best. So we can't change good for bad. The samples God has showing us is that the alternative you want, they are not capable. By example of what has been displayed. They went to court, the Supreme Court, even up to now, there are divisions, there are fighting state there. So what else do you want God to show? Those are signs.
It is also said that what is not done well is not done at all. So you know that the coalition, the opposition party are not doing well, and also the ruling establishment. So why not remain neutral in the?
No, you can't. We are politicians. we were organized to as a political party. We are seeking power, right? So we are supporting. We are in a coalition with non-political parties, all right? United Party was given 2 years. And now CDC is going to be giving their 2 years. So of course we are saying 2029 is moves time. We will be adding people because we have to support them. This is their time. We don't want to take their time from them. So we allow them to lead, support them to lead well.
Even if they're not leading well.
No. I mean, nobody will intend to come and form a party only to one, especially in this new disposition to mislead. Looking at where President Weah came from and most of the people in government. It is not intentional to want to lead the wrong way. There can be mistakes along the way, but there are strives to do the good things. So with us on board, some of those things that we've not been able to do well, I'm sure we will advise to be able to do some of those, to improve on those things, like listening to some of the things that you were saying and other people saying about even the issue of drugs in country, the young people. It's a national security issue. So how do we deal with that? Of course, those are suggestions we will be making. I'm sure that there have been some strives in that direction because the Minister of Youth and Sport is presently on OKFM and discussing what government has been able to do in that direction. So yes, we can't be neutral in this critical time. We have to take a side because being neutral is to have even already agree with the wrong thing that's existing. So we have to join the government to improve on what they have been able to do. And you can't tell me nothing is happening.
Okay, so
things are happening.
So in 2017, principal amongst the issues on Move's platform was the issue of improvement in agriculture, access to healthcare, and the promotion of quality education. Now you said you are joining a coalition on the basis of ideology. One of the things that Liberians have cried about is deficiencies in these sectors. How do you reconcile the platform of Move in 2017 to what these people are complaining about as being inadequate or not available to the people of Liberia?
So you see, and if you want to evaluate what the government has been able to do, you got to put it in context and to give a side by side. So let's take education. Of course,
I want us to start with agriculture.
Okay, MOVE has 4 pillars, right? We got education, we got business, we got education, we got health, we got farming. Those are the 4 pillars that our party manifesto is based on. So you talk about agriculture. Agriculture, I think there is more to desire because we've not been able to do, we're not able to feed ourselves. So there's no mission on that. We've not been able to feed ourselves. That's shame on us as a country.
Have you identified the progress the government has made in that direction?
Well, yes, I have seen that the Ministry of Agriculture, if you see their annual report, they've been able to, they distributed farming implement across the country. And they even have a trade fair, the people display
hogs and cutlasses again.
Cutlasses. No, even tractors. Tractors have been distributed. I saw tractors as far as 4 were given to farmers. Women groupings that are there. And there are government farms that are being they are trying to open. I think one in Cape Mon, one in Bombing, and another one in Bon County. These are government farms that will be open and they will be used to give cereals to farmers. But my own take,
it seems it's only Robert Sami who knows all of these things.
No, it's not Robert Sami. If you check your website, maybe you're not checking with them. You're not checking with them. I have seen them, especially Robert Sports, Kibbon. Check it out. Yes, they are doing something there. I think we can do more than that. Our own take is that subsidy on rice are not sustainable. And so what we need to do as a government, and maybe going forward, are some of the things that we will bring on the table. What we need to do, let's tell the Liberian people in the next 2 years, the rest, things will be tough. The money we put on the rest, we are going to put it into government funds. So after 2 years or after 1 year, we will be able to feed ourselves to some extent.
Right? And you think the government looks poised to achieve that?
Of course, I think that is what we must be able to do. All right, we must be able to do that, and I think the president will listen, and they are listening. I think that is why we are teetering towards that we should be. But tell me something. Even besides the government, the people in government officials, ordinary citizens, see the kind of fun we are making. We are not seen to be sensitive to our own plight. Okay, you eat rice. But most of the farms that we have palm farms, rubber farms. So are we sensitive? We're not doing cassava. We're not doing rice. So other countries are trying to produce what they eat and then export that. If you got much of what you can eat, most of the lawmakers, you see, that palm farm, rubber farm.
Well, they are interested in cash crops.
That's what they're doing. That's what we're doing. So we must be, I think they too need some orientation and education. Make big farms. Feed the country. Let's feed ourselves. Then we have some level of independence. So it's not only about government, it's also about mentality.
Let's go to education.
Education, of course, you have seen considerably some improvements have been done. And I'm grateful that Lofa College is now Lofa University, and that level has been improved. If you went to the University of Liberia, and all government universities are free. All you need to do is to go to school. That's what you need to do. That's strive. It may not be perfect, but actions have been taken that at least, and that is proper policy.
What are the improvements you're talking about?
Well, you can, like, for example, at the University of Liberia, I was there 2004. Even I'm still there doing some masters. You need to stand in line to do your registration, to play your courses, to get your clearance, but everything has been automated. You do it online. That's improvement.
Is that improvement?
Of course.
In the educational sector?
Of course, that's improvement.
We're talking about the quality.
The quality, well, we can...
And the quality comes with infrastructure.
The infrastructure, that's infrastructure.
Granted.
That's digitize the system. In fact, some of the courses are being offered online. That's more than education. People do, like I started doing my PhD in Slovenia. It's online. I do some of the courses online and sometimes I go on campus. Right? So that's modernization. So we must pray for that.
What's about the primary education?
No, the primary education, if you see the
that's the foundation.
Yes, of course. So that's why I said we can, what we have, there have been some strives. So we can improve on what has been done. So nobody can say, You can't say nothing has been done.
So the weakest link I have realized in public service is to say we've made some strides instead of quantifying the strides you've made.
Well, I didn't come with statistics from the education.
Yeah, granted.
So I'm just telling you.
But you can say we have,
from a general point of view, that things have been done. So if I thought if you're going to tell me we're going to discuss government policy, of course. But if you told me we are discussing move policies and move engagement, of course I'll quantify. But from a general point of view, one person can assist and give you
granted.
Except the planning minister who can sit here and give you all the stuff.
Yeah, sure. Right? The reason why
I'm simply saying that if you went to the University of Liberia, that there's a digital platform. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
There's a digital platform that you can see there, and of course, that's improvement. That's steps. YFE being paid, improvement in the educational system.
Good. Now, I was thinking about. She made mention of high schools, primary schools specifically, which are seen as the foundation for ensuring quality in our educational system. To what extent has the government worked in ensuring that is achieved?
So I think I've heard of free and compulsory primary education.
Yes, that's great. That's true.
And that is in place.
We're talking about the infrastructure. There are schools across Liberia where access to chairs. I mean, they don't have chairs.
I've traveled in 15 counties, and when you go at those areas, you realize that students are still, sitting in deplorable places, classrooms, and no chairs. The buildings are all in bad shape.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, and I cannot speak to all of that because I'm not an education.
Okay, so he would not speak to that. Let's go to health. Mr. Simon. Let's touch on health.
Of course, I saw that they got an EJS diagnostic center where you get clinic problem, they can work on you. That was never in country, and that is in country now. The DNA machine are in country. So some of the things that we never had in country are in country. Doctors being sent out to specialize. We just came from Hungary with 100 scholarship for Liberian students that you can study in any field of your choosing. And I'm sure the Ministry of Education and the policy of government will emphasize sciences. So of course strides have been made. People being trained. About in 2000, health workers were placed on government payroll. Many of them people leaving the country to go and specialize to come back. So, of course, we're trying.
Is the DNA machine at the JFK working?
Well, I have to verify that. But as far as I'm concerned, it was brought in country and people use it. So if it has broken down, well, that's something to look after. But I don't know the state of it because I'm not a health minister, but I know these things.
You know you're not a health minister, but you're speaking on
I'm telling
the improvements.
So if you tell me that it was brought in country is no longer working, then that's a different thing. But we all know these were brought, and these are modern technology that every country will want to have in their.
Have you had reports that people go to health centers, hospital, and they cannot get drugs? They are sent outside to buy it.
Well, every system has its own flaws. I'm sure there are some bad people in the system who take the medicine for themselves, and administration should be able to take action against those people. But government, it's not government policy to deny people medication. It's not government policy. So those people who are put into place.
You think the medications are made available?
Of course, it may not be it may not be enough, so to speak.
Why shouldn't it be enough?
It may not be. Of course, there can be challenges. There can be challenges in the process.
And some of those challenges are in the situation of drugs not being enough in public health facilities.
No, I don't know whether there are not enough medication. I don't know about that.
Okay, so let's make some progress.
Yes, we are asking you these questions because you place all your talk about improvements in government.
I'm answering, but if you want to go to specific,
that's why we just asking. It's not that you are the relevant authority.
No, if you go to specific, I may not be able to answer to specific questions. But from a general point of view, those strides that are being made, you are telling me that they don't have enough medication. So I don't know about that.
How do you respond to criticisms that Robert Sami, as chairman of MOVE, and at the same time an official of government, taking MOVE to their coalition is just an opportunistic venture? How do you respond to critics?
So maybe those are those people are archaic politicians who will be thinking, because they think that the way they ran politics yesterday, and politics was about job division, and we've told people that our move to the CDC is not about our personal gains, and our political leader, His Excellency Ambassador D. Maxwell Sakimia Senior, said that even if it will cost me to lose my present position for the good of the people, I will. But we will evaluate and come out with the best person who is the best candidate or can be the next better president for the country. So I'm a government official, but it didn't influence where we wanted to go.
You think so?
Of course, I just told you. It's not my job. So if people are forming political parties because they want job, public service, like our political leader always say, is for the public good. So if you are not going to the public service to help the people, there's no need to go there. It's not my job. Sometimes you have sleepless night just trying to put things together for the good of the people. It's not easy sometimes. Some of the job that people have, those people who are really devoted, they have sleepless nights planning, working to get things on course. So it's not a pleasure. You don't go to government or public service because you want money. You go to public service because you want to serve, and that should be the basic, the value that everyone should have. So we didn't go to CDC because we got a job. We went to CDC because we think CDC is the better and the best alternative to ISRF for now.
Okay. Now, I understand you've already indicated that move joining the coalition is not on the basis of jobs.
No.
And that you believe there are lapses that the government has.
It's not a perfect system.
Now, how MOVE as a political party intends to work with the government to deal with some of these deficiencies that the government has, and what does MOVE take to the coalition?
For example, I just told you our take on the issue of agriculture is, let's take the subsidy from rice and invest it into farming, government farming. Let's have, for example, open big farm in Bond County, open some in the western cluster, so that we can feed ourselves. If you go to Nimba County, produce planting. You go to Lofa, make rice farm. Since we have roads going, let's open farms. Let's have rice that we can sell to ourselves to subsidize at a subsidized price. But before we can come to that, after it will be maybe several months that we will have to pay certain price, because right now, because of the war in Ukraine, we are paying $18 for rice that we used to buy $15-13, right? So when things come to normal, if they will ever come to the normal price that we used to pay, so we say you will still pay the same $18.50 because we're not going to pay subsidy. The $2 that we put it on, that money is the money that we're going to use to open farms. And when we start to harvest, we'll come down to $12. And we make that known to the people. And the people will listen and they will brace themselves. The Liberian people can understand. And that's something that I think we should do. For example, also the issue of drug. We are saying that you cannot fight the issue of drugs just by rehabilitation. Let's tighten the borders. Let's strengthen the DEA and other security apparatus to stop the inflow of drugs in the country. Or else the generation is doomed. After us, who's going to replace us? Every day, these guys, new people are entering this Zogo life. So we have to make sure we stop the inflow. When they don't have the drugs, it's easier to rehabilitate. But the water can be flowing. You can you want to fill a drum that get hole. So water is continuing to flow, and then you say you want to dip it out. It's a difficult situation. So let's stop the flow of water, then we can dip what is in already. But you are dipping and coming, so you're not going anywhere. So let's stop the flow. In fact, when you stop the flow, the people who are in there now, some of them will voluntarily leave because they don't have the substance. They will leave. So let's put more effort at stopping the flow of drug in the country. And that education is not, that effort is not only left to government, it's also to us citizens. Because these drugs are sold in our communities. So what do? We need to see it as a national emergency situation. And we should work along with the government to ensure that this does not happen. Everybody should speak against it. We should take it as a national emergency, or else our country is damaging.
Do you think that the government is doing enough to curtail the importation of drugs?
Well, that's why I said I've seen them making the laws that they say they want to make it non-bailable and so forth, and they pay rehabilitation. They are serious, but probably the approach, like I'm saying, the approach may not just be the right approach.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. But they are making straps. I heard that they are opening about how many acres of land rehabilitation center in Benton and so forth. Yes, that's good. Very commendable, because if you go there to rehabilitate you come and become productive citizen in society. Good. But how do we stop people always going there? Maybe we can even use that as a technical college in the future when we have no issue of drugs anymore. But before we can do that, every citizen must be a security for drugs. We make sure that no drugs come in our country. Wherever we see it, we should report it. We should name and shame the dealers. Because those people who are dealing the drugs are in our communities. So that's where we, the citizen, must stand up and ensure that we fight against drugs in the country.
Okay, my last question on this, you're joining CDC. MOVE has not lost its identity. It's still a party of its own. I'm right?
You are right.
Okay, good. Now, how do you hold the government accountable while at the same time working with her in ensuring that the change that she talked about in 2017 is achieved?
So how do I hold my child responsible in as much as I love him? So the Bible says you don't spare the rod and spoil the child. So this time around, the criticism may not be on the radio, but when we go in house, of course, it will be self-evaluation.
So how do we know that Robert Sammy is holding the government accountable?
So the point here is that it's not. It may not be for you to know, but it's for you to see results.
Yes,
because
when the results are coming, we know Robert Sammy is advancing.
When the results are coming, and it is not for us to take the credit to say that we are the one advancing. The good about it is that Liberian people are imparted. That's the most important.
Have you spoken with NPP before joining? Did you have a conversation, because they've been in my
Of course, the NPP is part of the coalition.
Exactly,
it's part of the leadership, and when we engage in a conversation, we talk across the table, and everybody had common understanding. It was not just an event; it was a whole process. That after we agree in principle, there are certain things we needed to do, and we did those things. For example, you needed a resolution of 50% plus 1. To of your executive committee and letter of application. So for us, we go 100%. We didn't do as executive committee level. We had convention.
So I'm asking because NPP has been complaining about their treatment in the coalition. Now you, the new Jew, you enter the coalition and you seem so upbeat and positive about the role you will play in the coalition. Doesn't it seem worrisome to you that you are entering a coalition where you see LPDP complaining, NPP complaining? Doesn't it seem worrisome to you?
The point here is that not everybody in all of those parties are complaining. Some people. And so, and as life is, nothing is perfect.
Okay.
Nothing is perfect. There are some people are complaining. What are they complaining about? Job. So for us, we are not so much interested in job. Job is not the fundamental reason why we are joining.
Even though Robert Sammy has won.
Yes, but MOVE is not Robert Sammy.
Robert Sammy is currently the chairman.
Yes, but I was not the chairman when I got a job. I got a job before I became chairman. I had a job in government when I was being expelled. So the issue is not my job.
Yeah,
it's not my job, right? It's not my job. The issue is what is good for the people. Because if I alone got job and we have thousands of our followers, so if you go present to them that it's an issue of job, you're able to provide job for all of the followers? No, you don't. So of course, if you have skill, you have capacity, and we are looking for people to do certain thing, you look amongst your members or the executives or people wherever they are or the citizenry, because we don't the authority to appoint is given solely to the president by the constitution. So if you are joining a coalition and think that you're going to go into an agreement and memorandum, it's okay, I'm going to be implemented based on the will and the goodwill of the person who will be the president, President Weah in this case. So you can sign all of the documents, but I think my President Weah was magnanimous enough. Almost all of those parties got people in government. So if you complain,
so MOVE the show.
So for MOVE, we have made that known that our decision is not based on job, and we are not even asking.
There's no expectation.
well, you can't say there's no expectation because you are a politician, you are qualified, and I'm a citizen. Every citizen has an expectation to work for their government, right? So, and not because we are movers and we are in-moves, so therefore we don't have expectation. But when it comes, good. When it does not come, okay, we got skill, we can create some for ourselves, right? All right?
So
we can.
So the sole objective of MOVE joining the CDC is to ensure victory for their second term, right?
Yes.
And also you've joined ranks with other political parties, and when parties are joining, they are concerned about those who coming together in terms of their strength. You have joined ranks with other party. Do you think those party you join ranks with to
let me correct what you said. Our objective joining the coalition is not for President Weah to win
the second term.
No, it's not the objective.
You think?
No, it's not the objective. But that is
at this point in time you join.
No, that is the means for the objective to be
achieved.
All right.
What's the difference?
The difference is that we want President Weah to build more roads. That's an objective. We want the peace to continue.
And that can only happen when
that's why I said
he gets
it's
a
means.
term.
Yeah, it's a means. But it's not really.
So that's why I'm asking those who you join with. We heard names of some party that is so strange. Do you think they have the strength enough to deliver?
So let me tell you something. All of people that even a 6 person that joined the party, but then when we had the little get together, we had to move headquarters and then the team. They want to put on get strength. Let me tell you, what a politician can do. And even that's a simple life philosophy or principle. Anything you can get, the best way to counsel yourself is to disperse it. That thing saying not correct. That's what they're doing. In politics, it's never 1 + 1 to be 2. No. So no matter what it is, these are political institutions that exist. Nobody should fool you.
Do they have the strength?
Do
they have the manpower?
They do have. They have structure across the country. People believe in them. UPP, ULD, and People Liberation Party, RDC, CDA. These are parties that have structure and membership. So what do you think? Why is it that they go and talk to individual to join party? So how much more a political institution? You're talking about political institution. Political institution. So nobody should tell you. These people have influence and have a place in our society. Everyone who have loved them to support, to declare support to them. But because they didn't get them, so they want to disperse. So that they can serve counsel. So we can understand that. We can understand that. So our objective is to ensure that there are more roads, especially the road that is going to Lofa County, my beloved county, can reach to Menekoma. Electricity can continue to be expanded in other parts of the country. Of course, we continue to enjoy the peace that we have. We can enjoy the press freedom that we have. We can enjoy the gender equity that we are fighting for. Of course, we can enjoy the improvement in education, the strive to ensure that we have agriculture improving in country, booming. We can expand our economy to get more jobs for the people of Liberia. So those are the things that we want to see. Those are the objectives that we have. But the only way those things can be achieved is to ensure that President Weah is re-elected. So that's why we've come together, non-political parties. And the mandate is first run victory, because we want to save understanding that. And that is what is going to happen.
In 2017, as chairman of the primary committee of MOVE, you made a statement that the legislature is not for breast sellers, as quoted here by Capital Times. Do you still stand by that statement?
Well, I don't know Capital Times what they said breast sellers. I don't know what they meant by that. So I think I meant to say people who do not understand the workings of the legislature. I think that's what I meant to say. But bread selling, of course, you can sell bread. I eat bread. So bread selling was not meant to say people who are doing that business, but it meant to say if you don't understand the terrain, don't venture there. I think that's why I really meant to say.
Literally.
And I stand by that. Once you don't understand the legislative politicking, don't go there. Don't go there to look for money. Go there to serve the people. Make law for the people. So if you went there to hustle, it's not a place for you.
Even though you are part of the coalition, will MOVE be putting out representatives and senators?
Of course, we will.
Okay.
But we'll go to primaries.
Okay.
And that's the rule of the game. That's the rule of the game. You got to go to primaries. Those representatives, those senators or senatorial aspirants that are coming to us, of course, you will have to subject yourself to the rules of the game.
Okay, let's go to the phone lines now on
0777 105 100 0555 105 100 are the numbers.
Okay, so the phone lines are open. Robert Sami is the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment. They've joined a coalition for democratic change along with 8 other political parties, and for him, he says his objective is not tailored towards re-electing President Weah, but ensuring that more rules are built by President Weah. I mean, you're passing around corner to say Weah will be re-elected. But of course, that is his position on the issue right now this morning. Let's go to the phone lines and 0555 or 105 100 0777 105 100. I have a problem with calling these numbers. Yeah. But while we are with the cause, Robert, I am particular about this. MOVE has values. MOVE espouses for economic empowerment. Are we seeing that here? The president, the government promised 1 million jobs in a year. 100,000 jobs, that is. They did not state to us whether it was in the formal sector or the informal sector.
No,
you are a businessman.
I don't know why you are quoting correctly, because when I was at the National Disaster Management, I was a focal point to the development of the proper agenda for prosperity and development. What I saw is that government said they will try. They are going to they projected lifting 1 million people out of poverty. That's what was projected, lifting 1 million people out of poverty.
Okay, let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel, and good morning to Sis Janice.
Good morning.
And good morning to Mr. Mr.
Good morning.
David E. Harris and call from Benson Street this morning.
Yeah, David.
Fidel, I just want to give a few checkpoints. I think Mr. Simon talks about our border, the strengthening of our border in the DCD. Even the great United States, with all the security they got trucking still enter the U.S. legally. So I think we shouldn't be talking about strengthening our border in the DCD. We should be having laws on the boat to curtail the deportation of drugs. I think Mr. Simon should know that he's been there forever on the issue of our hospitals. Yeah, the GFK Medical Hospital without drugs, without equipment. All around the country, my least part away of government hospital in Kakata, got Maniwana Hospital. The hospital is 50 hours without pouring, dirty. I mean, without drugs, without no equipment. My late niece passed up in our hospital. I think you can do a background investigation of Maniwana Hospital in IDB, Kakata. So it's so bad. Thank you very much for the discussion.
Okay, thank you so much. 0555 105 100 0777 105 100. Robert Salmon is our guest. For some reason, you let Robert Salmon and say all the things they put 1 year. That won't call. But Mr. Salmon, let's be realistic about this. How will you grade the government of President Weah, considering all factors?
I'm very conservative in giving grades, so I may not be good.
Bad teacher.
Yeah, very conservative. So it's because I'm conservative, I'll get 85%. I don't want to.
85%.
Yeah, 85%. Very conservative.
Considering all factors.
All factors. If you want to grade the government, and I've always said this, put the situation into context. And let's take it sector by sectors. They have done some. If you go to infrastructure, significant progress have been made. That's certain sector we need to do more than others, right? So, for example, electricity, we've made some significant strive. The last year, time like this, it wasn't easy. But this year, time like this, it's much better, right? In terms of electricity, as soon as they pull out the substations around the country, I'm sure the next year will be better than this.
Good morning.
So some significant strive have been made.
This is Angeline Puri. I'm calling from the Movement of Economic Empowerment headquarters.
Okay, your chairman is on.
Yes, I appreciate him this morning for he's representing the party well, and he has spoken well. And the part that I really thought of adding to is the agricultural aspect that he spoke about. If we can really plant what we eat or grow what we eat, I think that is going to be of huge benefit to this country, because there are all that agriculture bring our
Okay.
Like you eating rice and you plenty of rubber, you plenty things that you have to export for people to process before they come back to the country. Though it help in other form, but then what about what we eat?
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm ready about that point.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, Fabio do for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what the NEC need to do is not for people to take certain jobs and now go to the NEC and hire a political party. What they also need to do what they call observation or special. Because most of the political parties in Liberia only hear on the paper, but when it comes to the very decision, how do you see that structure? Don't see that structure. You ask the student get and ask you who is the sooner here. They should now, for example, Abasi was called to call that. You have for the gender coordinator of it is a national. So also struggle. So most of the people from the political parties so that just to align with government in power so that today or tomorrow when that government wins, then they got a job. And then the few people behind and they get a bigger job.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Sammy, you want to respond to me?
Yeah. As I said,
just 1 minute. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm Maurice Dongano, calling from Abe community.
Oh, remember I finished. Go ahead, Mr. Simon.
So, Eddie has said this far months down the line will be read in the case of MOVE. But right now, no, I don't see any political party that is well structured like MOVE. Most other countries, in fact, one of the things we've been able to do, we get 43.3% female leadership.
Okay, that's good.
Women participation in politics and their empowerment. We are leading on that.
Okay.
To the extent that, in fact, there's a UN, there's a peace building project that has asked us to allow MOVE to be used as an example in one of their jingles, what we've been able to achieve. In most other countries, we have Malomini B. Smith. She is our country chairperson. Bombing, we get Estina Nyese Smith. She is our chairperson. And in Bapur, we get Miata Vama. She's the chairperson. In Kimon, we have Georgia Koma. She's a chairperson. In Basa, of course, that's men. We got Ato Wide. In what I call Riverses, we have Benjamin Nyale. And then we Sando, we have Gabriel Tracy. And you go to Kimon, let me say Grand Crew, you got Jacob Yima.
My Gibi,
you got Sarah. Oh, you want to take? Yeah, you got Sarah Dan. Okay, if you go to Bon County, you got Gaman Walagi. If you go to Lofa County, you got Kebe Piwi. If you go to Nimba County, you have Prince Man. You go to Granjide, you got James Willie. You go to River G, you got Anthony Wisse. You go to Maryland, you got Prince. You got Stephen Russia, of course. So where is he talking about? We are. In fact, let me show you on the show. Let me see different offices that are just be created that people posting our new offices that we've opened in all of the counties that we're talking about. New offices.
So MOVE is on the rise.
Of course, I told you.
Chairman Sami is working.
This is of course I told you. This is just Maryland County. You see this Maryland County office. In fact, they just have meeting. You see the people in meeting Maryland just last weekend. And then if you come here, you go up here, you're gonna see good. This is okay. This is the same Maryland. You're gonna see Bon County with upstairs building.
Upstairs building.
MOVE
has money now.
not necessarily.
How you fund those buildings? How you rent those buildings?
No, I mean what we are doing is we are contributing as partisans. We are contributing as partisans to build our party, because you can't be in a political party and then you don't contribute. You have to contribute to do payments.
Okay.
I just thought. Let me see. Okay.
So
you see Grand Bassa County. Grand Bassa County is here. Okay,
you might pin the entire country
orange
before we get on it.
Orange. Anywhere you go, you will see orange.
The mother party of the coalition may not have headquarters as MOVE has now.
Well, I don't think so. I am sure that all those parties in a coalition have offices across the country.
You don't want to buy, but don't
You see here's Grand Crew.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, orange. You see orange all over. Orange.
Yeah, so we...
Okay, here's the headquarter of MOVE. This is the new branded sparkling headquarter.
And looking
there is the D. Maswell Sarkemia Intellectual and Political Center. Yes, this was open, and here you're going to hear the best political discourse.
Okay. That's good, Mr. Simon. That's good. Again, we want to thank you for responding to our invitation. We appreciate that a lot. And we want to keep these kinds of conversation ongoing as we move to elections, because you are a key stakeholder in the democratic process of our country, and remaining engaged with you is very important.
Yes, thank you. Let me say on behalf of our political leader, His Excellency Ambassador D. Maswell Sarkemia Senior, thank you so much for the opportunity, and this is the very first time, this is my debut on your show. I wish that I hope that this cannot be the end. We will always be available to appear. We came from I went with the foreign minister. I was privileged to accompany the foreign minister to Hungary, and he went to look for scholarship, and we just brought 100 scholarship. And Hungary is in Europe, so that is a part of the good work that he's doing, and for the people of Liberia through the kind.
Brother man, ain't tough for yourself.
Scholars will benefit.
Yeah, scholars. The process is at the Ministry of Education, where they vet and we get the best brain to go and study to come back to contribute to the country. So we are blessed that you had all here this morning. Of course, you are welcome to the new MOVE headquarters, where we have the Ambassador D. Maswell Sarkemia Senior Political Intellectual Center that is being and every intellectual want to go and discuss the issues of the country.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Robert Simon is the chairman of the Movement for Economic Empowerment. He has been our guest on the last segment of the show this morning. Denise, how do we go home?
Well, that's how we like to go home. We already out of time. We will be back here on tomorrow for another fascinating edition of The Morning Breeze.
Oh yes, do have yourselves a great time, and bye-bye for now.